question we had was, how did you organize your classes and semesters as an undergrad?
Yeah, so it's about knowing your study habits. If you're the type that would rather have your lectures done by like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to study, then I would stack on my lectures. But if you are somebody that's like, no, I need to do my lecture, process, study after, and I rather spread it out throughout the week. So it's first just figuring out who you are as a person study wise, like what you would prefer. And it's okay, you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna try different things here and there. And not all classes, by the way, especially in undergrad, are going to be available to you all the time. Sometimes you're not going to want an 8 a.m. because you might not be a morning person, but that's the only time that class is available and you're going to have to take it. So I would recommend just knowing, personally, I like my lectures in the beginning of the week. And I like having the rest of the week to study and do homework and things like that. I still do that in grad school. So personally, that's just my preference. But I do have friends who liked it the other way around, having their classes done by 2, spending the rest of the day study. So it really depends on you, and also depends on your extracurriculars, like what do you plan to do after in the day. Like I danced a lot, so that's why my schedule was a little bit different.
Another question was, what advice would you give the students for what activities they should participate in, what programs they should do, things to help them figure out which career in the medical field they would actually want to pursue?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely going and trying different things. So examples are research, going into research at college, like just emailing these professors being like, hey, I know you have a research lab. If you're looking for an intern, I would love to come throughout the week for this many hours or so, you know? Research is great. You can also get paid for research if you do a certain amount of hours. I think research teaches you a lot. I also think going into free clinics, because a lot of colleges, I know UC Davis has multiple free clinics nearby. I know Riverside has multiple. I know UCLA has free clinics. I think getting yourself involved at a free clinic really gives you a perspective of how the flow of things actually happens. And as a student, you're more involved than you normally would be just like on the sidelines. So free clinics, that lab work, I would say shadowing anyone that you think is important to shadow. But on campus, I think joining clubs that reflect those things. There's medical brigades. I know medical brigades takes you on a trip once in the summer to go volunteer in third world countries to help give them healthcare. I think medical brigades are great. There's also dental brigades for people going into the dental aspect of their career. It's also, yeah, it's just looking at what your college has to offer and really putting yourself out there and joining these organizations.
So Karishma asked in the chat, what major obstacles would you like to combat as a hospital director?
Yeah.
Or major problems, actually, sorry, to clarify that, major problems you'd like to combat.
Like what I would like to do eventually, or like what you deal with on a daily basis?
Like any, like with healthcare system or any policy changes, like what would you like to change for the future?
Yes, so my biggest thing is I think that it's not good that our country cannot offer the same healthcare to every individual. I know it's a big challenge. I know this is a big thing, but I think after seeing people myself at free clinics, seeing people who have zero means of having healthcare, I think it's horrendous because it was so sad at seeing little kids who don't have that access. And I remember my age, my parents were taking me to the doctor for my physicals, my this, that, and I think it's important for everyone in this country to be able to walk in to some sort of healthcare system that has the resources just to help them out, and there has to be a means of that. So personally, I don't think it should matter what your demographic is or where you're located, because this is also a big problem is in rural areas. If you're in California or in the Midwest, where there might not be a hospital for miles to come. So there's a lot of things that need to be changed. So people should, I like really want healthcare for everyone. I think that's important. As a small scale, as an individual, I would personally like to work with policymakers eventually to see what we can do, especially at a California state level. Because looking at our administration right now politically, I'm not sure how well healthcare is going to be prioritized, clearly looking at the pandemic right now. So personally, I am a fan of Obamacare. I think it did a great thing. A lot of people who had talked to me told me that, especially in my program, there were individuals who couldn't even go to the doctor until Obamacare was implemented. So I think just affordable healthcare. That's like my biggest thing.
All right. And there are a lot of questions, and unfortunately, we're nearing the end, so we don't have time to address all the questions that you guys had. Let's see. I think the most recent one was, what helped you become more extroverted? Because you mentioned earlier on that you were more introverted. So what kind of helped you just be out there more?
I think looking back was really just, for me, I think it's really important you guys find role models and mentors, and you don't need just one role model or one mentor. It's having people in your life that you can look up to, and you don't even have to know them. Like just going on YouTube simply and finding someone that's talking about living life, or just you admire them in some way. I think me personally, I had a very good family support system, and my parents always encouraged me to get involved in high school. My first 2 years, like especially when I joined Mr. Vasquez's class, I didn't have a ton of friends. Like I joined his class, and I would talk to him a lot of time, embarrassingly. Like I talked to him a lot, and it was great. But I really realized it was like I need to get involved. And that advice I got from my family friend who went to Piedmont herself, she said, get involved. In my last 2 years, I just sent it. Like I literally was like, whatever, I'm gonna do it. So I ran for things. I got involved in this. I guess I just had a switch, like a light switch happened where I was like, wait a second, if I don't try these things, because I had so many wants. I was like, oh, I saw that club, and like NHS, I saw it. I wanted to get involved, and I was like, oh, should I not? And I was like, you never know until you try. So really just shoot your shot. I think for me, it was just having an internal drive that just made me realize like no one's gonna know me after these 4 years, even if I do embarrass myself. So I think it's just kind of, yeah, realizing that it doesn't matter and it's your life. So that's what helped me become more extroverted. And I have great friends, like since they're awesome. So having my high school friends are still some of my closest friends to this day. So yeah, that helps.
And as kind of a final wrap-up question, do you have any lasting words or final advice to us high schoolers?
Yes, my final advice and last few words are this. Don't worry about mindless drama. I'm sure we all have friend groups. We all have these type of things. You're at this point in your life where you're really self-developing. If I wish at your age someone had told me like, hey, these are like all your career options and this actually exists, and like let me go look into it. And don't worry at the end of the day what someone else is doing. Remember that you're your own competitor. It's such a misconception that people have, and you'll still see in your professional world that people are always trying to compete with one another. Always compete with yourself. How do I make myself a better person? How do I make myself more competitive as an individual? How do I make myself more well-rounded? Just because these things are at the end of the day going to benefit you. And I've changed so much since high school because I read a ton of books. I've become more, into this world of like, nothing else really matters besides happiness of yourself and those around you. So I really think be happy. Don't get too involved with things that are like not making you happy. Really just push for that, and don't be afraid to reach out to people. Like if you're interested in something and you really need help to figure it out, reach out to people that you think can help you. And worst case, if that they say no, try again. You have to always try again. You're gonna fail also. That's something you have to remember. Not everything's gonna be perfect. I have failed, we've all failed. Like there's gonna be certain events in life that you're just not gonna win, but that's okay. Look at everything as a learning experience. Like look at everything as a learning experience and take responsibility and be accountable for your actions. That's something where I think people don't really realize till later. Remember that everyone is going through stuff. So it's not always just you. Remember that there's a world of everyone. So as long as you're happy in yourself and you're excited about things and do what makes you happy, I personally think you guys are going to be all successful. You guys are clearly curious. That's why you're on this call. Med 101 helped me do that for sure. I was with a club with people that were excited towards similar things. So I think it's awesome that you guys are even taking the time out of your day to learn and do this. This is already a huge step. So props to you guys.
All right, thank you so much. This was the best class I've had all day. Really, it was. We're gonna take a group picture now. Let me get my little snippet tool out. All right, so can everybody who can turn their cameras on, turn their cameras on so I can include you guys in the group photo. All right. Hello, everybody. All right, here we go. making sure that the second page, all right. And, all right. Oh, no. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, I got 1 down. That. And going on to the second page. We go here, 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right. Thank you.
Shivani, we'd all kind of like to thank you so much for being here today. I would like to ask everyone to unmute or use the clapping emoji to really give a round of applause to Shivani for being here today.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys having me, and I want to thank Mr. Vasquez as well for coming. It honestly meant a lot to me to see him on this call, and it means a lot to me that you guys are curious and you guys are always trying to learn. I'll send my contact over to Kirsten. She already has it, but if you guys ever want to contact me, feel free to. Don't be shy. Like, if you have any questions, you'd still like to talk to me some more, I can for sure make some time for you guys to make that happen.
All right, I'll share the contact information from Shivani on our page, and then Adrian's going to be posting the pictures that we had today. And we really just want to thank you. I know graduate school is like super busy. You've been like super on top of everything, but there's a lot of things going on. And definitely the members in our call, they really took a lot from this. And I learned so much too about like the college experience and like going into the medical field and everything like that. And we really we have no doubt that you will be super successful as a hospital director. And we kind of wish you good luck for any of your future endeavors. And just a big thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you all for taking the time out to talk today. It was awesome. I really appreciate it.
All right, this concludes our webinar with Shivani Barrot. And that's it. We'll be posting it on our YouTube channel so that any of you want to go back to it, you can check it out. And that's it. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Stay safe.